So you were saying you were talking about your mom. Was it just you and your mom, or did you have both parents when you were growing up?
It was me, my mom, and my sister. My biological dad, he left us when I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. He was he was a drug addict, a child molester. Actually, he left us. It's a crazy story, bro. He left us, but anyway, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. Then she remarried, and I had my stepfather. He ended up adopting us. And I had a stepbrother too, but he was already out the house. He was already grown in college and stuff. So, but we still were, close. But I didn't grow up in the same household with him. It was just me and my sister. Anyway, my father though, let me tell you, my biological father, man. The last time I seen him, we used to go see him on the weekends. Okay, I had these conversations with my mom. Now, because as a parent, you want to know these things to protect your children or whatever. Also, I might have questions about who I am as a person, or where do we come from, or where did our family come from, or
that's important stuff.
It's important, and and there's all kind of questions that come with it from all kind of purposes and meanings or whatever. But you just want to know, especially with all the DNA, 23andMe, all that. It's kind of okay. So as I've always known that my biological father, was somewhat of a child molester and this or that here and there. But it was at a time, it was before the where you'd have to register as a sex offender. So in the same household, I hadn't seen him since I was, like I said, 5 or 6. So you don't even know what a child molester is at that age. So you don't find out these things till way later down. I'm like, man, he did all of that. Like, damn, man, he a piece of shit. But anyway, he the last time we used to go see him on the weekends, like every other weekend or whatever, just for my parents were divorced. It's just for custodial rights, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, he had a girlfriend. I'm 5 years old. His girlfriend, she was a 12-year-old with a wig on.
Damn.
Now, I don't know this. I'm thinking it's a grown woman. I don't know, And then later on, come to find out, I'm like, what daddy? And my mama like, he in Canada with the girl live around the corner that was his girlfriend. He ended up kidnapping this girl, took her to Canada. He say they got his side of the story is they ran away to get married, but man, what's a grown man is close to 40 years old doing with a 12-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl, man, it don't even make no kind of sense right there. Then going to Canada to skirt the law. And you know what I'm saying? It just, I'm not with all of that. There ain't no way you can explain that to me, especially having a daughter that's 12 years old. There's no way anybody in this world could explain to me how it would be cool for a man my age to date my daughter. That just, I'm not going to fall for that. But my mom also,
was your mom aware of what was going on?
No, but they were already divorced.
Yeah.
She didn't know.
So she was just dropping y'all off unaware that this other person was there.
Right.
Okay.
She didn't even know, and none of this. The only thing I would know is I'd come over there, I'd go to sleep, and it'd be a woman there with a wig on and makeup. And I don't know that the girl 14. I'm only 5 myself.
So she look older than you
14
anyway.
is 30, is 50. It's all the same when you 5 years old, But anyway, come to find out, they ended up getting caught. He came back. I think he did end up going to jail. He owed a whole lot of back child support. This is how we ended up kind of freeing ourselves from him, because he couldn't pay the back child support. And but anyway, the girl ended up committing suicide. Man, rest in peace to the girl.
Wow.
But she ended up committing suicide when she came back. But this is like what I grew up with, what I'm saying? Just there's other things too, this is the type of person he was, so there's other things too. Thank God. I look at it though, sometimes, growing up as a child, you're like, damn, man, when my dad was at, because how much I love my kids, I would do anything for them. Yeah. So I would sacrifice anything in the world for them. If I had to never say a word with the letter T again, man, whatever. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to see my kids, protect my kids, provide for my kids. So some of it is, man, as a child, you kind of don't understand, like, why would, and maybe some of it is just naivety or just being a child or whatever, the pressures of the world. But I don't know, there's only so many passes you could give a person, as a child, until you just find it like, man, fuck him, and that's how it was for me, where it was like, even as a young child, when you find out he a piece of shit, you still kind of like, I still want my dad, but now as a grown person, I'm like, damn, where is he at now? How can I protect? Who is his neighbors right now, man? Dude, his neighbors got any kids? Who is? That's what I'm thinking. My mind is, thinking, you know, and I'm thinking like, is he around children right now? Is he, because if he's still living, you know.
There's still other kids out there.
Yeah, that's
still,
man, being pedophilia is a disease. It don't go away with time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, these are things I actively think about and talk about with, you know, Miss Parker from Parents Against Predators, or with my mama. Like, man, I talk, especially when they caught the Golden State Killer through DNA. I'm like, man, I wonder is there any unsolved crime, any murders, unsolved rapes out there that maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because, man, he a piece of shit. I'll take that DNA test in a minute just to get that familiar DNA. Okay, yeah, there's but my mom, of course, he wasn't, as far as she know, he wasn't into nothing like that. But he was a serial child molester where he did it, dozens of times. So, man, ain't no telling what this man might have did, you know what I'm saying? And even growing up as a adult too, or having children, I think, damn, man, is that in DNA? I don't want that in me. You know, like shit. Do my son got that?
Yeah.
Do my daughter got that? Is she gonna pass it on to her kid? You know. So these are things that science don't necessarily know, and they kind of it's taboo to talk about. Nature versus nurture. Is it in your DNA or is it society? Because they don't, if you do something wrong, they don't want to give nobody a reason to blame something else. They want to throw you, throw you under the bus. You know what I'm saying? No matter what or what the circumstances is. But I don't know. Some of it for me though is I got to experience growing up with a father who was a heroin addict.
This was your stepfather?
My biological father.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
he's the same man. He was addicted to heroin, smoked a shitload of weed. So me smoking weed, I'm like, damn.
Got it honest.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree, even though it ain't necessarily the same, it's similar, so it made me want a little bit. But I think too, him being I be joking with Zero because my biological father, he lived in the Mo City area, and he did heroin and he smoked weed. So I always be joking with Zero, like, yeah, man, that's how I made it. That's how I got my first, break in rap, because Zero looked out for me. I was just a young kid, and my dad used to buy drugs from him, and he felt sorry for me, so he took me on his wing and showed me, hey, I'm gonna show you how to freestyle. I'm gonna show you the way of the trill. So shout out to Zero, man. That's how it happened in my mind, what I'm saying? But this, this is something though that I think about. I think about, damn, should I go to his church and put flyers out everywhere? Hey, man, this man a pedophile. This
who got a church now?
I don't know. I'm just saying,
just
like,
in general, just wherever he is.
Wherever he is. Yeah. I think is there something I could be doing that I'm not doing, and someone could be getting molested from right down today. Yeah. To like, damn, it just made me think. But at the same time, I think I don't want to have no relationship with this man. I'm not like. Because it's funny, somebody DM me on Instagram, hey, I grew up next to your biological father. He a good man. Please forgive him, this and that. I'm like, what? That fool a child molester. Wow. Like, do you know this fool really, in real life, molested, raped children as a grown man, kidnapped? Like, what are you talking about? Like, man, so, it ain't, I don't know if he thinking he gonna try to, manipulate me or something, but it ain't nothing where I'm like, trying to see him and he probably fuck around and watch this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not, because I'm Paul Wall, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't think he trying to come at me because I'm a, man, catch me in Target, I'm gonna embarrass the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? Catch me anywhere in life, catch me in church, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna tell the whole world, no, hey man, this man is a pedophile. Keep your kids away from this fool. So, I don't know, it's just things that I ain't trying to poke the bear with some of this shit of, whoever, but it's just still things that I deal with growing up as I've dealt with my whole life being in, like, damn, man. And I've always had and also at the same time being that my mother was raped. She was molested. My mom was molested, and I ain't trying to put her business out there as well, but she, she ain't tripping. She ain't on the gram like that. She ain't gonna see it, but, man, like I said, I ain't trying to put my mama business, but some of it I will, just to show you, how it affected me as a child. My mom was raped by both of her grandparents. by both of her grandfathers, I should say. She was raped by both of her grandfathers on each side of the family, and she was my mama got some hell of a stories she done told me to make me feel like, okay, this shit's real out here. Watch your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Watch who your kids is around, and a lot of times it's it could be your own. It could be your own father that's the one molesting your children. It could be your aunt, your sister that's doing it, and it is a disease. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times we look at it as, oh, it's somebody just being uncontrollable or they just whatever, which might be true, but at the same time, if we looked at it like as if somebody was psychotic, would you let your kids around them? Nah. And at the same time, you'd feel bad for them. Damn, man, you got this mental stuff going on.
You got to protect your kids.
But I got to protect my kids. Man. I got friends like that who I might love them, but hey, man, I got to protect myself from you because you psychotic. You know, at any time you might snap and come off on me, and I love you, but I can't put myself in that position because I got kids. Whereas if I didn't have kids, I might not have to. It's the same way we got to look at our kids around, man, any grown person or teenager, really. It's like at what age do you not, it's because that pedophilia is for real. It's real life out there.
Yeah. So damn.
Donnie Houston.